Could make the pillow like this, and then we'll sew the seams.
Scraps of fabric, ribbon, and thread cover the tables.
At 16.
Women measure, cut, and assemble. Side by side, they sit and sew. They don't all speak the same language, but they teach each other.
We'll cut the threads off later.
They make pillowcases, a purse, something to wear, something for the home.
Look, it turned out great.
Piece by piece, scraps of fabric transformed. That's kind of how Sheryl Rajbhandari began, little by little, 9 years ago. It all started when she read an email meant for her husband, Amsu. A family needed help.
He's from Nepal, and it said we need an interpreter. We have refugees from Nepal. And when I saw that, I called. There was a family living in a hotel near the airport. I had Amsu go and bring them to our home. When they came, they shared their story about the 14-day trek they had taken 20 years prior from Bhutan into Nepal, and how they had carried their 4 children on their backs with just a bag of beaten rice.
Over the next 9 years, Sheryl would hear many stories like this. Families forced from their homes in Bhutan, living in refugee camps, and now arriving in America thousands of miles away from the life they knew.
You suffered in a refugee camp for 20 years, and I never want another person to arrive in the U.S. and not be greeted in a way that makes them feel welcome here.
Sheryl started her organization, Heartfelt Tidbits, because she thought that even if she could only give a tidbit of her time to help a family, it was better than nothing. What she ended up giving is everything. Funding her nonprofit with her own money, driving families to their new jobs and schools, organizing her neighbors to volunteer and donate little by little, a bit at a time. When a new family arrived needing help, she found a way.
She's dedicated so much of her life and her passion to this cause, and I think it's amazing that she's willing to give so much of herself to this group of people.
In 2012, Sheryl walked away from a career as a strategic analyst to devote herself full-time to volunteering.
It was a very big leap for not only me, but for our entire family.
Some of the work that my mom does is the best things that you can do, especially as far as time goes. She gives up a lot of time and effort, and I've never met anybody that works as hard as she does to help everybody that she meets.
After leaving her career, she's as busy as ever, teaching English and citizenship classes, attending naturalization ceremonies, holding sewing classes, and visiting community gardens where Bhutanese refugees have plots of land. For Sheryl, her husband, and children, it's truly a family business.
It's really helped me see what the world is like, and it's shown me beyond just our small little community, and it's really inspired me every day.
Sheryl sees a problem and she takes care of it. She sees somebody needs something and she gets it for them. So from the first time she got involved with the refugee program, she doesn't say no. She says, what can I do? And where can I get it?
And now, another refugee crisis on a massive scale. Heartfelt Tidbits is helping the first Syrian families arriving in Cincinnati.
And when I look at the children, especially, I think as a parent, you know, I know how I feel when my kids are sick, when they're cold, when their dreams are shattered. You know, maybe they didn't win that soccer game, and I'm thinking, how do the parents survive mentally, telling their kids it's going to be okay? They're not going to die. How do you find that strength? And I think we do an incredible disservice when we keep people in these environments where they're living in fear each and every day.
Sheryl Rajbhandari, a mother opening her home and her heart, never turning her back on families in need.